Welcome to the third IMMUNCURA Cancer Forum Marbella, and feel yourself comfortable. I'm very happy that even at a day like this, with such a wonderful sunshine, with a great sunset, you are attracted by such an ugly topic like cancer. And I must say, well, ugly to those who have it and even to those who don't have it. And I'm very happy that instead of saying, okay, let's enjoy the nice evening, let's have some tapas in the old town or so, that you came here. And I promise you, it's worth doing, because we open to you tonight an idea of how to treat cancer in a completely different way than it is done normally. Because normally we are talking about cancer, what is happening is that the symptoms of cancer are focused and we try to put away the symptoms. But many times the disease still is there. So what we are doing today is we are going back to the causation of the disease. And we try to focus the causation of the disease on a biological way and today on a psychological way. For this I want to introduce David Lopez from He's a psychotherapist and he is one of the leading people in Spain who are doing psycho-immunotherapy. And he will explain himself what this is and how it works. Thank you, David. Secondly, I want to introduce to you Dr. Marisa Garcia Lima from Alorin. And she is veterinarian doctor from Alorin, and she's the manager for treating animals with the dendritic cell therapy. Welcome, Marisa. My name is Johannes Schumacher. I'm the director of IMMUNCURA Medical, and I will introduce you into the biological background of dendritic cells and immune cells. Well, okay. Well, let's start with 14 facts about cancer. The bad news is every one of you has cancer in a way and sometimes. If we are angry, we develop small tumors, all of us, and that's quite normal. So, the normal cancer tests, they can only detect cancer after the disease really spread and after it is really a strong disease. And this is why normal tests the physicians do many times don't show that there is cancer. And they send the patients home saying, okay, you are healthy, but maybe we are not. Even in a healthy body can produce up to 150 cancer cells in a day, especially if it is a stressy day, if it's a day where we think, whoa, today I was growing older like 2 years, yeah, and those are the days where the cancer can spread. But the good news is when the person's immune system is strong, then the cancer will be defeated, then the tumor will be fought down, and then the person will remain healthy. That's with a normal immune system. So the cells who are responsible to activate the immune system against cancer are called the dendritic cells. They look like this, yeah? Well, you didn't see them, but because they are so small. And the dendritic cells are like the generals of the immune system. And they are giving the activation to the T cells to kill the cancer cells. That's what's happening in a healthy immune system, in a healthy body, and what keeps us clean from cancer and other diseases. And this works on dendritic cells were given the Nobel Prize back in 2011, which is not that long ago, to Dr. Ralph Steinman from Canada. He was awarded with the Nobel Prize by finding out about dendritic cells and by developing vaccinations against cancer from dendritic cells. So what we are talking here is not any hocus pocus, any fancy things. It is pure medicine, it is pure science, and it has been awarded by the Nobel Prize. So, and this should be standard of the medicine today. Well, but and what we see when a person has cancer, it indicates that the immune system has collapsed or is not working properly. What we have here is an underreaction of the immune system can cause cancer or other diseases, or can cause, with an external threat, can cause infections. We all know that. And for that reason, for example, my assistant Ludmilla, who you might have expected here, is not here because she is suffering from this effect, from an infection. And on the other hand, the immune system can overreact and cause autoimmune reactions like arthritis and other things, or allergic reactions, which are all also caused in the immune system. So, when normally a person suffers from cancer, the medical system, the doctors, the hospitals, they give chemotherapy or radiotherapy. That's the normal standard, the normal medical standard, and that's what the pharma industry is earning a lot of money from. In Germany, for example, it's 18 billion revenue with chemotherapy. But the chemotherapy not only destroys cancer, yes, it can destroy cancer cells, that's true, but it also destroys healthy cells. And it leads to a situation that people get sick even more than just from the cancer. And that they have long-term problems, long-term healthy problems. And the same with radiotherapy. The radiotherapy also can destroy cancer cells, but also can destroy healthy cells, which the body needs. Radio and can cause danger as well. The initial treatment with chemotherapy and radiation can reduce the tumor size in many times, and it doesn't mean that it does not work at all. But many times there is still a source of cancer that remains in the body, and from that it is impossible to get really healthy. Maybe the blood tests go down, but still the source of the cancer is in the body and rests in the body and waits for the next explosion. So the immune cells, like dendritic cells, they have the character to activate the T cells that kill all kind of degenerated cells, whether they are cancer cells or inflamed cells like with arteriosclerosis, arthritis, and so on. So the dendritic cells, they have the character really to heal the body from cancer. That is what they normally do. That is why we are still healthy. And this is how we can get healthy when cancer occurred. And but what to do if the immune system collapsed, if the immune system is not able to cope with the disease anymore? What then? So, what Dr. Steinman and others found out is that multiplying immune cells set the immune system back into the position to heal the body from cancer and other life-threatening diseases. So we need to multiply the dendritic cells, the body-owned dendritic cells, in order to fight against the disease. How to do that? From the beginning of the century, Nobel Prize winner Dr. Steinman and his team developed therapies to grow individual dendritic cells from the blood of a person and inject them back to the body. That's how it works. It is blood taken from the patient, like if you are giving a blood donation, like 200 milliliters. That will be sent to a specialized laboratory. So we are working with laboratories in Germany and other countries. And in the laboratory, those dendritic cells get separated, identified, get grown and multiplied, and then again filled with the information from the body, because the dendritic cells from our body, they have all the information, all the knowledge to heal our bodies. Health is in our bodies. But if there are only too few, then they can't heal. And this is what we do. We multiply the amount of dendritic cells who all have the right information, give it then back into the body by an infusion. That's after like 1 week, 10 days, the concentrated, multiplied dendritic cells come back, get shipped to the patient, get injected to the patient, and then the immune system can get back to normal, can get back to have the power to fight against cancer and other diseases. And this is what really works. So I brought some examples to you. For example, with bronchial carcinoma, prostata, mama, and others. Here's the number of patients, in total 153 in this study, and what we see is a total and partial remission was more than half, 82 patients. And those patients, they were already undergoing the chemotherapy or radiotherapy, the normal therapies. And then they were sent, let's say, sent back home to die. And among those patients, the quotation of people who got fully or partial remission is more than half. And what we have, a mixed reaction, that's just 2 of 152 stabilized, which is also a good message, is like 20%, and non-responder is also possible that from any reason there's no response. That were 33 out of 153, and unsettled means that, for example, the person died from other reasons, or that they lost contact, or whatsoever else. So in total, 82%, more than half, positive reactions for people who were hopeless. Other cancer types, more rare cancer types, there were was a study of 33, and half of them got total or partial remission. Or with other diseases like asthma, which is also an immune disease, we see full remission, 36%, non-improvement just 21, drastic improvement. So we see from 84 patients, like 70% got full remission or strong remission of the disease. And one last example is neurodermitis, which is an overreaction of the immune system. Even here, this is how much skin care the patients are using. And before therapy, you see the red one, a lot of, yeah, and after the therapy, hardly nothing, yeah, almost nothing, yeah. And this is really a strong proof of the effectiveness of dendritic cell therapy. Well, the clinical research in leading universities all over the world will roll out this next generation medicine to the public, but the capacities are very limited. We must see, and what we also find by introducing this kind of therapy here in Spain is that the pharma industry is kind of against us. They want to do rules which make it very difficult to work. And they have the power, they have the lobby. And I can understand the medical system as well, because I would say if this immune cell therapy would be available to the public and to all the people, I would say the average age would grow by, let's say, 10 years, maybe. And the medical system would change dramatically. The hospitals would be less packed. The pharmacies could work less. The clinics would have less work to do. And on the other hand, that would break down or dramatically change the medical system. And on the other hand, if people grow 10 years older, we have a problem with the retirement funds, because they would break down then. And this is why the politics are not very much in our favor. But this is next generation medicine. And this is, for example, with chemotherapy. The chemotherapy which is done nowadays is based on the knowledge 50 years ago. Because the last radically new chemotherapy was released back in 1984, which is 40 years back. But if it was released 40 years back, the technology is like 10 years older, because it takes 10 years until getting it to the market, right? So this is how people get therapied nowadays with the technology 50 years ago. And this is why immune cell therapies is the next generation. And we did a review of physicians, and only 8% of the practicing physicians, even oncologists, know about dendritic cell therapy or immunocell therapy. So, maybe it is good as well, because the worldwide laboratory capacities could only treat like 3 or 4% of all cancer patients. So we need to grow that capacities and then roll it out step by step. And what we are doing as IMMUNCURA is that we are giving access to patients who approach us in order to help, in order to support, in order to open the way to receive immunocell therapies. And the good thing is, as those therapies are completely natural, they don't involve any chemical thing into the body, not something which is disturbing. The dendritic cell therapy is a completely nature therapy, which is not causing any serious side effects. And that's a very, very good news for people who maybe suffered in the past from chemotherapy or other cancer therapies. Well, during working in the human medicine, we were approached, isn't it possible to help animals as well and to give them immune therapy? And may I ask Marisa?
In animals, we can work only with some species like horse, cats and dogs. And the technique is a little bit different. We take a piece of the tissue of the tumor and then we produce a vaccine. In some samples, for example, a brain tumor, it's difficult to take a sample. It's not possible. Then we work with the dendritic cells that we take off the blood too. And this is a therapy is 3 vaccines during 4 weeks each one, and perhaps the patient needs to repeat in 6 months, and usually they give another because they suffer the same symptoms with the chemotherapy. The life is time is less than in human. Then everything go very quickly. Everything run quickly than for person. Then the treatment they change a little bit, but the time to live it's not for humans 10 years or 8 years more. For animals 2 years that we can get. This is something. Then we are happy to begin with this innovative technique, and we will hope that some vets begin to know this. In Germany, they are working already 11 years ago with this. We are always a little bit, but it's coming. I hope that we can help them too.
Great. Is that true?
Yeah.
David, welcome.
Let me to explain how the psychoimmunology works. I've been applying this technique for the last 2 years in the biomedical clinic with some good results. In reality, the psychoimmunotherapy or immunology, it consists on four type of knowledge fields. The psychology, this is psycho, the neurology, the neuroscience, endocrine system, endocrinology, and immune system. Okay? Because this is a network of systems, because they are all interrelated. So this is a suitable framework for understanding these pieces of your puzzle or puzzle. So the definition is the PNEI, the psychoneuroendocrine immunology or immunotherapy, is the study of the interaction between psychological processes and the nervous, the endocrine and immune system of the human body. Takes an interdisciplinary approach incorporating psychology, psychiatry, neuroscience, immunology, genetics, pharmacology, so on, molecular biology, endocrinology, epidemiology, and many more. The origin, at the beginning they thought that the immune system was self-regulated, was isolated. That's not true for sure. Psychologists Adler and Cohen, immunologists, discovered that it can be a condition, can be conditioned by the nervous endocrine system. In the 80s, another psychologist and immunologist established a correlation between emotional states and immune cells population. For sure, when we are depressed, when we are stressful, our immune system suffers a lot and it tends to be lower, the very low performance. So the aim of the psychoimmunology is to regulate the immune system as the first line of defense. So let me explain this. You know something about that, according to the explanation of Johannes. Let me explain this because we are going to apply all of this in a simulation within your bodies using visualization techniques. The dendritic cells are like the intelligence, like a CIA. They are all over the body, or the lymphatic system, the bloodstream, to detect any menace, any threat from the tumor cells or from infection. So they need to get samples to get bioinformation from those that menace, from in this case the tumor. So they surround the tissue, tumor tissue, to get samples, piece of evidence of they are called antigens. So once they got the antigens, they need to go to every lymphatic node to transmit that information to the T cells. The T cells, lymphocyte T, are our personal army, professional army, the Marines, okay? But they need to be trained, properly trained. They need to get the proper training in order to know what to do, where to go, okay? And what kind of selective weapons they need to produce in order to eliminate the cancer cells. So once they got the antigens, you know, they got it, yeah, the T cells, they can go to the spot, straight to the affected area with cancer, and they eliminate the cancer cells. That is what is occurring in healthy people. But in cancer patients, this is not working well. There is a dysfunction. This is the T cells are not doing their work properly, and the T cells are not properly trained to counteract the effects of cancer. This can be reprogrammed psychologically too, but this is very, very difficult to do because the human condition is not to be very constant. We are all the time suffering negative emotion, and we are all the time deactivating this function, this physiological function all the time. So we need to be very constant daily to reprogram this functionality. So the mind-body therapies are the answer to intervention to achieve the ability to affect the body through the power of the mind using specific techniques designed for that purpose. Mind and body connected with the mind. The mind is the software, and the hardware is the body. These therapies are indicated as coadjuvant treatment, complementary treatment. So it's a good idea, it's a good thing to complement the psychoimmunotherapy with other therapies, like for example the T cell therapy. Emotions such as love, hope, optimism, alongside with the placebo effects, good sense of humor, sociocultural support, are what they are called epigenetic factors. We got the genetic factors, the genetic predisposition, and we got the epigenetic factors. The epigenetic factors are the ones that can be controlled by us. Psychology, attitude, diet, also the environment, the natural social environment. Those factors provoke in us illness many times. But firstly, we have to have normally a genetic predisposition to have that. With only the genetic predisposition is not enough to manifest an illness. They have to be, they have to meet, this epigenetic factor have to meet to trigger that encoded information within the DNA. So beautiful emotions are the answer too. With the beautiful emotion, what can we achieve? Immediately when we are feeling good, happy, enjoying, we got a better cytotoxic activity against infection and cancer. Less blood pressure through suitable level of cortisol. Cortisol is the stress hormone. low blood viscosity, deactivation of oncogenes. The oncogenes that are encoded in the DNA can be deactivated with beautiful emotions. Also activation of cancer suppressor. There are genes that are cancer suppressor too. A better control of apoptosis and angiogenesis. I will explain that later. Less vulnerability and susceptibility to infection to any kind. Okay. So diseases of civilization. This is the tip of the iceberg. Fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue, depression, obesity, arthritis, heart disease, multiple sclerosis, diabetic, cancer, pain. But in reality, underlying all of that, we've got toxins, negative emotions, inflammations, digestion, absorption, detoxification, the hormones when they are segregated in excess, okay, that provokes also that problems, no problems. Underlying mediators. Okay, through the mind we can affect the nerve system, the neuroendocrine immune system. Okay, through the mind. This is psychosomatic, from the psychological dimension to the somatic dimension. Soma means in Greek body, and psyche means soul in Greek. So psychosomatic, we can affect the body through the mind, through the system, the nervous system. They are interrelated, tightly interrelated. Through the neurotransmitter, the nervous system is also regulating the endocrine system and the immune system. Okay? With the endocrine system, we can also segregate cytokines and hormones to regulate the immune system. And this is a very tight, interrelated diagram schedule. So we can do the contrary thing also. Somatopsychic, somatopsychological. So when the body is healthy, then it sends a lot of information to the mind, to the brain, to feel good, to feel better, to feel like that. Okay. The Romans used to say "mens sana in corpore sano." It's like that. Okay, how we can affect the biochemical activity and prevent diseases or enhancing healing? Good news. The mind is all over the body. There are neurons all over the body. The heart has a set of neurons, more than 60,000 neurons. That's like another brain there. And in fact, the neurons from the heart send more information to the brain than the brain to the heart. That's why the emotions are so powerful. So our hearts and intestines, also the intestines, have their own neuronal network. The intestine is like another brain too. Okay. Carl Jung used to say, your vision will become clear only when you can look into your own heart. Who looks outside dreams, who looks inside wakes. It's like that. Our own reality, or reality is within us, not around us. Around us, the environment can be very deceitful, but the inner world is our reality. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. So let's make the unconscious conscious. Let's be aware. This is the first step to change our lives. So the first step towards affecting the body through biochemical activity is to control the mind state. Okay, we need to control the mind state. These are the brain waves we emit according to the mind state. Gamma is the performance and fear, very high. The brain waves are very high. Okay, it's more than 30 hertz or cycle per second. One cycle is this. This is one cycle. How many cycles per second? It's an Earth. So more than 30 is gamma brain waves. Okay, and we have a very great boost of adrenaline. This is good sometimes because we need to perform something important. Yeah, that's good too. But what happens when this is all the time? This is madness. This is misery, and the body will be very, very ill if we are all the time with gamma brainwaves. Beta. We are now emitting predominantly beta brainwaves between 40 and 30 Hz, alert and working. Alpha and theta. Alpha is between 7 and 40, relaxed and reflective. This is the power of the alpha mind. With the alpha state, we can change, we can reprogram every part of the body and or negative emotions. We can transmute the negative emotion with that alpha state of mind. The theta or theta is a light sleep, and also when we are dreaming, it's the rapid eye movement, REM phase. Okay, and this is delta. Delta is deep sleep. They are, they are slower the brain waves. So we will use the alpha state of mind. Technique used to link mind-body. Autogenic training through relaxation and proprioception. This is a German technique from Schulz. It's to develop the proprioception, the perception of ourselves, to have the conscious and awareness that all the body is, the mind is all over the body. And we can put our consciousness on, for example, in the tip of the toe. Feel that part. If we do that, then we can send messages consciously to every part of the body to correct it. Phosphorescence through the light source, we're going to practice that with the phosphorescence, because phosphorescence means in Greek light. With the source of light, by watching the source of light, we're going to create like a retinal impression in the brain, and with that we're going to synchronize the both hemispheres, and we're going to create bridges between several parts of the brain to affect other parts of the body. A technique called Silva mind control. Neuro-linguistic programming, the power of the spoken word. We have to be careful what we are telling to ourselves, telling to your cells. Okay, be careful because they are listening all the time. Ho'oponopono technique, that's very nice. This comes from Kahuna tribes in Hawaii. This is the forgiveness. We need to forgive ourselves because many times we are punishing ourselves because somebody in the past treated us badly. We tend to do the same thing against ourselves. So with Ho'oponopono technique, we can do that. Forgiveness, self-forgiveness. Conscious subconscious defragmentation. Defragmentation is the contrary thing that fragmentation is the connection between conscious mind and subconscious mind so they can work together as a team. Because when they are working separately, then the result is the body, misery in the body, and the body they start to tear apart. Biosynchronization frequencies, sound and bioelectromagnetic frequencies. There are specific frequencies of health because every organ, every gland emits a specific frequency. When it's ill, that frequency is distorted. We can send back frequencies of health to that gland or organ to promote health. Biomagnetic pair to release stress and relax the body and even reduce pain. We can use magnets. We can use magnets in several parts of the body to release negative emotions and to release the stress. And you will see stress is a very harmful emotion. More than emotion is a state of mind, I will say. Okay, possible stress cancer mechanism. It reduces natural killers and T-cell activity. Stress does that. The same way, anxiety and depression, of course. Impaired apoptosis mechanism. The apoptosis is the normal cell death mechanism because we need to renew the cells all the time, okay? And the old cells has to die. What happens when those cells that are supposed to die, they don't do it? Then they started another biological program it can convert it into tumor cells even. So this is, for example, the white blood cell, and this is a apoptotic cell. This is self-destruction. That's a normal mechanism that we need also to renew ourselves. Activate oncogenes. Stress can activate oncogenes. The DNA from our ancestors, there encoded, can be activated to manifest an illness. And in this case, oncogenes to manifest cancer. Okay, this is cancer-causing agents. So we got that the DNA chain can be also is it like a mutation and activate oncogene, creating cancer cell. Impaired DNA repair. We got a mechanism of the DNA repair. When there is a mutation within the DNA, there is another gene that can repair that. This is a normal, natural mechanism. But we need that in order to that cell can function with normality. So DNA repair genes, we need to repair that. This is a mutation, a little mutation that can be repaired, and there is no cancer. If that mutation is not repaired, that leads into cancer. A mutation of a mutation dozens of times create a malignant cell. The activation of tumor suppressor genes proteins. So the stress can deactivate the good genes, those that can repair the DNA, those genes, and also proteins that can amend and fix the problem, the DNA problem within every cell. Increased susceptibility to viral infection. There are many viruses that are linked to cancer. We got this one, we got this, sorry, So, for example, Epstein-Barr virus creates also problems, can create cancer. Helicobacter pylori, human papillovirus can create cervix cancer. Hepatitis B and C can create an hepatocarcinoma, it's a liver cancer. Also, Epstein-Barr virus can create leukemia. So this is the most important one. We can control this easily. The cortisol, the stress hormone. The stress hormone promotes angiogenesis. The angiogenesis is the creation of blood vessels. If we create blood vessels around the tumor, then we are feeding the tumor, and we are making the glucose available for tumor growth. With cortisol, with high levels of cortisol all the time, we are doing that. We are feeding a cancer that is already there. And then the growth can be very quickly. Can be very quickly. So the glucose is the fuel to feed the tumor, and the cortisol can do that. So we have to control the stress all the time. That's very toxic. It's like that. Small tumor, sprouting capillary. This is the angiogenesis, creating blood vessels all around, feeding the tumor, and also the tumor cells are creating these to spread all over the body. So angiogenesis must be controlled in every cancer therapy, anti-cancer therapy. Okay. Risk to have cancer according to the lifestyle, the stress. The higher the stress is, we have more risk to have cancer. This will be very stressful lifestyle, and this is unsustainable for the body. Okay, all this lifestyle is promoting cancer, activating the mechanism seen above. We're doing that. To counteract that, we need to perform intentional relaxation. This way, we can go back into the regenerative lifestyle. This is the old style, or ancestral style. So sometimes we need some peaks of performance, but we need this average. This way, we are preventing cancer. Okay. What is behind that stress as a factor? Negative emotions and traumatic events. A good way to explain this is through the principle from the New German Medicine by Dr. Rike Hammer. Psychosomatic medicine. This principle can explain all of this. This is the mister. Okay, this is very important. The main principle of Hammer theory is more than a theory. It's a spiritual experience. It is based on experience. This is a triangulation: mind, brain, and organ. Firstly, the mind is impacted by traumatic events and negative emotions. The mind also creates a response from the brain. That the brain creates a cyst, like a relay, like a triggering button. This is a cyst here, a cyst here, okay? So these cysts are like triggering buttons. And the brain area is connected with the organs that are going to be affected with cancer, which is the brain area where the cyst is connected to a specific organ, gland, or system. So this is a triangulation: mind, brain, and organ. The cyst is there; it can be detected, but conventional physician they just don't know the connection of that cyst that is related with the specific area where the cancer is. But can be also detected using kinesiology. Kinesiology is a technique to retrieve information from the body using involuntary muscle movements. Kinesiology we can detect that. Okay, according to a specific impact, traumatic events, we can have a specific type of cancer. For example, glandular breast cancer is a nest worry conflict. It's something. It's when the woman is so worried about their children nest that can create that impact in the mind, then in the brain, and from that brain area to the specific affected area, which is the breast. Another type of breast cancer is intraductal, which is separation conflict, a separation from the children, a separation from the loved ones, that creates that type of specific cancer, breast cancer. Another bone cancer, self-devaluation conflict, because the bones are the structure of the human body. It's a devaluation. It's the structure. It's basic. It's the bone. So when we have a very low self-esteem, we can activate the oncogenes related to the bone cancer. So the body is very literal. Prostate cancer is a male sexual conflict. For men, problem with the partner, with the female partner, goes related to the prostate. Kidney cancer, abandonment conflict. Lung cancer, death, fright conflict. Colon cancer, indigestible morsel. For example, when we have financial problems, very hard ones, the colon can be affected. So as you can see, the psychosomatic medicine of Dr. Hammer can tell us through the symptoms and through the type of cancer we can find out, we can identify the type of traumatic events and negative emotion that are underlying this condition. Okay, this is a very good help, because through therapies, if we can dissolve the traumatic events, if we can resolve with the psychotherapy, there are the psychological factors that are triggering to create more cancer. Then if we resolve them, we can resolve cancer too. And we can prevent from having what is called recidiva. The cancer can be repeated one and again, because the tumor is just a consequence. The tumor is an effect of the cause. We need to treat also the cause. Okay, so the moral of the story is the thoughts creates words, the words create actions, then habits, character, and destiny, and this is a vicious circle. Watch what you're thinking and saying, because your body is listening. our body now is the summary of all the thoughts and words, of the feelings what we experienced in the past. And our body in the future will be the thoughts and words we are thinking and saying at the present. So the body is just a manifestation of our own thoughts and feelings from the past. And it will be the body of the future according to the thoughts and words we are saying right now. So this is, we are living the future. We need to change our mental patterns to change completely our body into the body we would like to have. Okay. Well, now we're gonna practice that. I'm gonna be a movie producer, and you're gonna be the main star. You are gonna be very relaxed, and I'm gonna induce you. If you need to take a nap, it's okay. The subconscious mind is working 24 hours. This doesn't matter. I will suggest you images to perform a nice journey within your bodies. And before that, I would like to explain one thing. We got an incredible gland right here. It's the thymus gland. Under the sternum bone, we got that gland. That gland is like a headquarter of the immune system. The lymphocyte goes to that gland to develop themselves into mature lymphocytes. Okay, so we're gonna have a nice journey into that gland. Okay, and I'm gonna take advantage of some images from the movies, Hollywood. Okay, because they are very useful. and then you're gonna feel the connection with your body. In 20 minutes, we're gonna do that. During 20 minutes. But firstly, I explain the phosphorescence. And we're going to practice the phosphorescence. This is a normal bulb, okay? It has to be opaque and white. You're going to stare at this lamp for 2 minutes, for example, and then I'm going to turn it off. Then you're going to close your eyes, and I'm going to guide you into this nice meditation. Okay? In the white light, other colors, because the white color contains other colors. You need to breathe in and out slowly. And so you can create a nice phosphine, a nice retinal impression in your brain. Maybe within that white light you can see blue, a bluish color, maybe green. When that color turns into warmer colors, like for example pinkish, purple, then the phosphine is formed already in the brain. Through this source of light, we are stimulating the brain activity. We are creating bridges between different brain areas. And we are synchronizing both hemispheres. So now, maybe you can see another colors. When you see pink or purple, you can say it to me. So, yeah, more or less now. Yeah? Okay. A little bit of a few seconds more. If you close your eyes for a moment, you will see the phosphine. Or if you now you got the phosphine. Okay. When I turn it off, you just close your eyes and follow my voice. Okay. Close your eyes now. Okay. So now you got that phosphine in your brain. The key is to mix that phosphine with the visualization. You are going to create images with that phosphine. That phosphine is like a colorful sun, okay, radiating its light and radiation over an area. So when I count from 3 to 0, you're going to see a building, a white building. You're gonna be right outside the building, watching that white building, a huge one, and that colorful sun is radiating over that building. 3, 2, 1, now you are there. A great white building with its doors wide open for you. That building represents your thymus gland. Your thymus gland is there. Okay, so now please go inside. Okay, go inside that building. And there you can see millions of T cells. They are dressed in white with white armor. They are like clones. Remember that movie, Attack of the Clones, Star Wars? They are like clones dressed in white armor, okay? And they are waiting for you. They're waiting for your command. You're waiting for your connection with them. They are very sensitive. They need your support and love. Okay, one of those T cells is approaching to you. Okay, is the representative from the rest. It's going to approach to you, come to you in a few meters in front of you. Okay, you got it there. It's a strong man. It's a soldier dressed in white. He's smiling at you because maybe for the first time you are paying good attention to them, and all of them are interconnected. Okay, so now you are going to give to that soldier, to that T cell, a nice hug. So please embrace him right now. 3, 2, 1, do it. And feel him. And make him feel you. He's real. They are real. They are feeling you. Every single thought and emotion, beautiful emotion, towards them, they're feeling that. So please transmit your connection with them. This is a good exercise to connect your body. Now you can feel his strength. You can transmit him the beautiful emotions. Okay, and the rest of them are also feeling that connection. They are like shining through. They are all interconnected through the neurotransmitters. They are interconnected to each other, so they are receiving your love, your care, your support. And all of them, they are shining through, smiling at you, feeling good. And now, millions of bioelectrical impulses you're having within your bodies to connect your mind, your heart with your immune system with this visualization. Okay, now they got your support, they got your care and love. Now also they need your command, they need your assertiveness. So you are going to tell them what to do. You're going to reprogram them to be highly efficient, to fight for you, to defend you. Okay, so now you're going to tell them the following words. The words are important. T cells of my heart, go and destroy the tumor cells and infection from my body. You can repeat that within you 3 times. T cells of my heart, go and destroy the tumor cells and infections in my body. T cells of my heart, go and destroy the tumor cells and infections in my body. So after saying this command 3 times, they are starting to do that. So now your consciousness from above is watching everything. They are like little sparks, activated T cells. They know what to do. They know where to go. So they are spreading all over the body through the blood stream and lymphatic system. You can see from above how you're watching that spread, and you feel powerful. It's like you are a general up in the hill, watching everything, okay? How your soldiers are doing a great job. So if you focus on some parts of your body, if you know your affected part of your body, you can see how the T cells are fighting for you. And you can feel that power, okay? They are in some places of your body you can see that battle. That's a normal performance, and you're feeling very great watching that. Feeling powerful because you can control every single function of your body, and you are totally connected with your body using this visualization. Okay, so now you can see like little sparks spreads all over the body doing their work efficiently. Enjoy that for a few seconds more, and then you can say to them, thank you. Being thankful, it's a very great energy for them and for yourself. So say thank you to them. Thank you, dear T cells, for this great service. Please, you can now rest, go back to home, to the center of my chest in the thymus gland, to rest until you are needed for the next battle. And then you can see them how they are going back home to rest. And also you are resting too, you are feeling with peace and gratitude, which are beautiful emotions and a beautiful connection with your body. Enjoy this moment of satisfaction. Enjoy your moment, and when you are prepared, you just come back to this world, and you can feel in peace now. Say thank you for this great chance to be better. And now breathe in and out 3 times. Breathe in through your nose and breathe out through your mouth 3 times to release all the tension and to feel balanced and connected with yourself. Okay. To have water and yeah, to enjoy life. Thank you.
Maybe someone could turn on the lights again. Thank you, David, for this wonderful. This is the one trip we just experienced in our mind. The psychological trip. If you want to have a biological trip for you or your loved ones, you are welcome to talk with us. If you prefer to have a biological trip for your pets, Marisa is here. Thank you, David. Thank you, Marisa.
Thank you.
Come on. You for another trip, for a glass of cava here in front of the door. And those who like to share dinner, the hotel is offering a very nice 3-course dinner, including a solomillo de ternera for 30 euros, including drinks. And so you have the choice to enjoy just the cava we invite you for. And if you have time and if you like to share the dinner, then the hotel is offering this to us. For today, the mind is stronger, the material is following the mind, and we wish you to experience this. So,
Yeah.